Hey everyone, Willie the Kid here, and today we are talking about Gambit. Yes, it's actually happening. If you haven't been keeping up with Destiny news, Luke Smith, Destiny's game director, has given us a look at the development ideology behind the Destiny franchise via blog post called Director's Cut. I'll provide a link below to the post, but our conversation today is a response to the call to action Luke posted in the first part. More specifically, he asked for feedback on which version of Gambit the community enjoys. The reason being that, long term, the dev team cannot sustain the development for both versions. Now, anyone that has either asked me directly or has tuned into one of my streams knows my thoughts and opinions about Gambit. I do not like it. And as a Guardian that has achieved both the Dredgen and Reckoner title, my critiques will come from someone that has completed hundreds of Gambit matches and can point to actual instances and examples of frustrations with the game modes, rather than simply just saying, well, I don't like Gambit and it's bad. So today we're going to be talking about what I like and dislike about the modes, and by the end we'll come up with a solution or two that will get someone like me wanting to play Gambit a bit more, or at least be able to have fun while playing. So first, let's go ahead and start off with what I like about Gambit, which actually was not as hard as I thought it would be. First and foremost, I love the fact that Gambit, and by extension Gambit Prime, has its own loot pool. In a game that prides itself on giving players access to several pieces of gear, armor, and cosmetic items to chase, Gambit as a whole does just that. And while a good number of these items, such as the illicit and outlaw gear sets, are generally pointless, for people like myself with an insatiable urge to collect everything, this ensures that I have plenty to chase and a continued reason to play Gambit, should I choose to. Another good thing I like about Gambit is the overall map design and structure of the match. Although I have been victim of raging because of this, I overall enjoy having maps and experiences that challenge me to master maneuvering and finding my way around maps as quickly and efficiently as possible. While the activity itself is not one many would consider challenging per se, there's definitely an opportunity to maximize your speed and ability to get to the different parts of the maps as fast as possible. Now that we've gone through the good part, let's take a look at some of the reasons why I despise Gambit. Rather than focusing on the obvious weapon balancing, as that is something that is always going to be constantly changing as Bungie updates the Destiny sandbox, most, if not all, of my dislikes stem from the mechanics of Gambit that still need to be worked on. For example, the major problem I have with Gambit Prime is the fact that I feel like I'm constantly playing against my team rather than playing with my team. While this does appear in both modes, it's extremely frustrating considering the fact that Gambit Prime was built off of the idea of roles and essentially playing your part on the team. It's extremely frustrating going in with a full Notorious Invader armor set only to have one non-contributing member of the team camp out by the portal just waiting to get to the other side. It's just as frustrating wearing a full Notorious Collector set and having your teammates push and shove their way to their third moat while you're on your 19th. And before I move on, I know some of you are probably already saying, stop complaining, the solution to that is just to go ahead and find a fire team to play with. And, you're right, that is a possible solution. However, I feel like if the activity was supposed to be for a team of 4, they would have taken the trials route and would have gated the activity to only being accessible to a pre-ranged fire team of 4. Now, granted, Gambit Prime is nowhere near as competitive as Trials, which negates the need for, that requirement. But I do think Bungie needs to implement a feature or some sort of mechanic that enforces the rules that they have set forth for Gambit Prime that encourages players to play to them. Another problem that I have focuses around the whole invader element of the game mode. More specifically, and as others have mentioned in providing feedback, the invader role has evolved from hindering the opponent's growth to full-on determining who the ultimate victor of the round or match in Gambit Prime will be. This element, coupled with how players are interacting with Gambit, i.e., just bank and bank fast without any thought to what type of blocker should be sent to the enemy side, the outcome of the first invade is too much of an influencer of how the game's what the ultimate outcome will be. Now, I do have suggestions for this, but first, let's get back to the question at hand, which is Gambit or Gambit Prime. Now, if I really had to choose, of course, I would choose Gambit Prime. This answer does come with a few caveats, but essentially when comparing the two, I love how Bungie evolved the Gambit experience and made it more meaningful to play the mode with the addition of roles, the different armor that does provide interesting abilities, and it plays as a much faster pace than the regular Gambit mode. However, I would like to propose a few changes that I feel would break up the monotony of how so many Guardians play Gambit, and would even possibly bring someone like me to playing Gambit even if there is no bounty or milestone that needed to be done. The first, increase the number of motes needed to summon the Primeval. Now, off the bat, this sounds counterproductive, especially when I just finished praising about how fast-paced the mode is. However, I feel it's become standard for Guardians to gather as many motes as possible, quickly invade the enemy team, and if they are successful, they would have reset the enemy team back to 0 motes held, while their team will already have half of bank full. This then discourages the enemy team from even trying to make a comeback, and usually results in one or several enemy team members leaving mid-match. By increasing the number of motes required to summon the Primeval, this would help encourage the enemy team to take a stand and possibly try to come back, because the enemy team would still have a ways to go before summoning the Primeval, rather than taking a beating and seeing the enemy is 3 motes away. Another change I would like to be seen implemented is a restructuring of the actual Primeval battle. Now, once again, the main factor here is monotony and predictability. In the current way, once you summon your Primeval, you move in a clockwise position to each set of envoys, kill them, and then do damage. I would like to see teams have more agency in being able to constantly damage the Primeval, and have envoys popping up periodically around the map in random spots to increase the Primeval Slayer buff. But honestly, that's all that I have for you all today. Let me know what you all think about Gambit and Gambit Prime in the comments below. And please let me know which mode would you prefer that Bungie keep on developing for moving forward. If you like what you saw here, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.